Welcome to Inlandia Literary Journeys. Once again, I'm John Bender, Metro Editor for the Press Enterprise. I'm here with my co-host, Orlando Ramirez, editor of La Prensa, and today, Katie Porter from the Inlandia Institute. You are the executive director.
Yes.
And we also have Ellen Estilai, the president of the Inlandia Institute. Both Ellen and Katie are working writers, and we're going to talk to them about their work today. So welcome, Ellen. I understand you're working on a memoir about your time in Iran.
Yes, I am. It's called Becoming Iranian. At least that's the working title, and I'm almost finished with it. And it's been a long journey, but it's almost finished.
Now you went from Pomona High School,
yes,
to UC Davis,
right,
to Iran after you were married.
That's right. I met my husband in Iran, in UC Davis. We were married on campus, and then a year later we went to Iran. And I lived there for 9 years altogether, during a very tumultuous time, actually. When I arrived in 1971, it was the 2,500-year celebration of the Iranian monarchy.
So the celebration's still going on?
No, exactly. It's not. They're celebrating the end of the Iranian monarchy because in 1979 there was a revolution and the Shah fell, as you all remember,
Right.
and the Islamic Republic came into power. So we saw all that stuff. We actually watched the revolution on television at Davis. We were on sabbatical, my husband's sabbatical. So, but we made a decision to go back to Iran after the revolution because our lives were there, and our jobs were there, our home, family, and it was an interesting year.
Did you feel safe when you returned?
Not terribly, no. It was very, very dicey.
As an American back then?
Yes, being an American there was a little dicey. Although I really felt I was part of the culture. So for me, and I still feel that way, I still feel that, and that's why the book is called Becoming Iranian, which is still an ongoing process,
Where are you at with the writing?
I'm doing the revisions now.
Okay, so you got the first draft through.
The hot mess is finished. I think it's pretty much congealing, and I'm moving things around and filling up holes, and hoping it'll be done at the end of this month.
How long have you been working on the memoir?
A long, long time. About 6 years, I think, off and on. But in a way, I'm glad that it took that long. I'm glad I didn't rush it. I think things take as long as they're going to take. This is the standard writer explanation for why things take so long.
So in the process right now, you're finishing it up. What's the next stage in the process to getting, I guess, published is what you want?
Yes, exactly. Well, a lot of people read it. I'm in a couple workshops, and certain family has read it, and friends who have been there when it happened, because I wanted to really check my facts, make sure they were right. I have a couple more people that would like to read it, and then I'll send it off to publishers.
Do you have an agent, or is it just going to be?
No, I think I'm going to try and look for an agent as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's always a good idea.
Is that a hard process, an arduous process?
I think it is an arduous process. I kind of wish I had one already, but I'm confident that I will find something.
Okay.
So you took part in our Inlandia Invisible Memoirs workshops with Joe Scott Coe.
Yes, I did.
Did you write any of the memoir as part of that workshop?
I did, and then I took that section out. But but I'm going to use it for something else.
But I think we all do that.
Yeah. But I did write something in there that I'm sending out to publishers that I really like, and it was a wonderful opportunity. Joe is such a terrific instructor, and if anybody has a chance to take a workshop from Joe Scott Coe, they should definitely do it. But I learned so much about essay form and new ways of writing essays that I think I just learned so much from her and from all the people in the group.
I guess one of the questions that a lot of people want to know is memoir and fiction. How can you separate the two? Aren't you making up events essentially again?
Oh, I'm not making up any events. I'm recreating dialogue to the best of my ability. I'm using some fictional techniques to create a scene. I'm using a lot of description, and I'm trying to make it interesting and funny when it's funny. And sometimes my family cries when they read things, but it's kind of both, a little bit of both. But so I think you use a lot of techniques that are fiction techniques. But I think that's one of the things that memoirists have to be very careful about is, you have to say when you're inventing. You have to say, well, this conversation that took place in my husband's great-great-grandfather's homestead. You know, obviously I wasn't there, but I think it had to happen this way. Because you can't do anything without tea and melons. You can't, you know, those kinds of things.
Did you actually incorporate that into the body of the text, or do you start out with a preface that says some of these facts have been...
I think I incorporate, that particular one is incorporated in the body of the text.
Okay.
But really, I really feel that that I've been truthful through the whole thing, so I don't really have to say that, you know, some of this, I think maybe there will be a disclaimer like, you know, memory is imperfect.
Yeah.
That should kind of be obvious, but it isn't always obvious.
Right, and I think that's a really hard thing to do, writing memoir, because we don't remember everything. We don't take copious notes about everything.
That's one of the things I regret. And I don't regret anything about not starting writing earlier, you know, because I'm fairly late to the game here. But I do regret not keeping a daily diary. I see nods here. Yes, so I think a lot of us feel that way.
Did you take notes when you were in Iran?
I did take some notes. I did unearth some notes and some essays that I had started writing. So there were a few things there, and some artifacts, plenty of letters and other documents that help to form the narrative.
Well, I look forward to seeing the book when it's finished.
Thank you.
What was the working title again? If you
Becoming Iranian.
Okay.
But who knows, that could change.
Right, right. Now, I understand when we were chatting earlier, Katie, you mentioned that for the first time, the Inlandia Institute has 2 working writers at the top.
Right.
You and Ellen.
Well, I think that for an organization dedicated to literature and creative literacy, having people who understand both arts administration and the nuts and bolts of writing is really helpful, and I think Ellen comes at it from both directions, having been the director of the Riverside Arts Council and San Bernardino Arts Council.
That's right,
yeah.
So it's really fun to see this organization, Inlandia Institute, develop. We're fairly young, but we really hit the ground running with great programs. And of course, we don't do it alone. We have this wonderful advisory committee, which is full of artisan writers, too, that really help us.
Well, you're going to have a very special event going on Thursday.
Right. Well, talking about Iranian American literature, we have in Southern California a poet by the name of Sholeh Wolpe, who will be reading this Thursday at our Arts Walk, first Thursday of the month, at the downtown Riverside Library.
And what time is that at?
7 p.m. And she is a poet. She has a number of different books out. Her latest is Keeping Time with Blue Hyacinths, and I believe she'll be presenting from that on Thursday.
And she's been here before?
She has, a couple of times, and she is in our Inlandia anthology, the flagship anthology. She also participated in the electronic reader's guide portion for that anthology. And
is she
she's
from
very
here,
supportive.
or what's her connection with the inland area?
She was in Redlands for quite a long time. She had a reading series at the Loft, and in fact, when I was years ago, at beginning stages of forming a writers group, she was part of our writers group for a short time, and so she would come to the area, and she has connections here. She co-edited with Reza Aslan. She was the regional editor for the Iran section of the Tablet and Pen anthology.
Yeah.
So, and now he's, of course, had quite a bit of notoriety lately with his book Zealot. And I think we have a large Iranian American population in Southern California,
Yes.
and I would like to see more literature. I have a connection. My stepfather was from Iran, and my sister is half Iranian, and I think I want to read more about it and learn more. So I'm excited about reading Ellen's memoir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll have the opportunity then to hear Sholeh again on Thursday.
Yes, for sure.
Well, great. For the Inlandia Institute, I'm Orlando Ramirez, and this is John Bender, and of course, Katie Porter. We invite you to read the column every Tuesday in the Press Enterprise, and also visit our blog on the pe.com website. And we'll see you again. Thank you.